I may very well have met my match in this tape deck because a buddy of mine gave it to me and he said, good luck. It's falling apart. It's been taken apart. There's pieces all over the place. He says, I don't even know where to start, but you can have it. So let's take a look. I was given this old Sears Professional Series cassette deck. And I've been told, don't plug it in, take it apart. Yeah, do we see something wrong with this? Well, that's a plunger. This was all taken apart. There's no belt on here for one. I think someone tried to fix this and they gave up. So this is an idler. It's part of the belt drive system. I think the belt goes under here and then around, and I don't know. We'll see. There's a belt in here that's off. I don't know where it goes or how many belts this thing has in it. I think it has 2. This looks like it was the capstan belt because it is around the capstan shaft or on the flywheel. I don't even know if the motor works on this thing. We'll plug that in and see if the motor turns. Okay. The motor does turn. That's good. That's a good sign. So, it's just a matter of figuring out what way this belt, how this belt was configured. Looks like there may be one that goes around the flywheel and this goes in here. This holds the that goes across like this and into here like this. Plunger goes in like that. And yes, I do know the device I'm holding is called a solenoid, but we call it a plunger when it's this style. So you don't need to correct me on it. I believe this piece just fits in like this. This holds the, should be a couple screws here that are missing, but this holds the flywheel in place. That piece goes in like that. Now where did the belt go? I have a feeling the belt threads around the flywheel and looks like someone's taking the screws out of this. I'm just going to remove the solenoid there. The screws are loose on this, so this comes out of the way. This is so I can see how this thing goes back together. This bracket sits in across here and it screws on to here like that. It looks like this belt, there's a belt that loops around here and then around this. Maybe underneath this one because it's not going to go over. Can't go over because there's not enough clearance. But I think the belt goes under here and loops around there. And I don't know whether it goes around it might even go around this. It might only be a single belt on this thing. I'm not sure. Let's just take a look at the pulley and see if there's 1 or 2 grooves on it. There's a flat belt and a square belt. The square belt goes around and drives the real drive, and the flat belt goes around. So someone's been into this. So this is the mushy square belt. We'll find a replacement for that, and I'll get another belt put around the capstan flywheel. It's a big heavy flywheel. These were good. These units that had these big heavy flywheels had relatively low wow and flutter. When you don't have the original belt, it's always a guessing game as to what is the correct size of belt to put on. And I don't know in this case. Now, I could measure it. And the way I would do it if I wanted to get an exact size is I would take a piece of dental floss, I would thread it around the belt, and I would put it around the pin, or the capstan shaft, and I'd tie it tight, and then cut it and measure it. That's if I really wanted to get in there precise as far as the size goes, but I don't really care that much. As long as I'm close, this thing should work. And what I did is I just put the belt around I put the belt around here, fit the flywheel in place, and then just kind of stretch the belt up. I put the flywheel into its position like this, and then I kind of took the belt and kind of pulled it into place. I said, yeah, you know, that's probably fairly close. I don't need to be exact for this. We'll put the flywheel in and see if I can get the belt over top of the motor shaft here. So I'm just going to reach with the dental pick, reach through here and grab the belt and pull it over top of the motor. Oops, going through the wrong place. Gotta go in where the belt's actually gonna go, like that. If I plug this in, that's a good sign. Motor's turning. Capstan shaft is turning. And that belt is not very tight, so it should work good. Let's get that second belt. We'll see if we can get this piece back in where it belongs. See, this belt, the plunger goes on the back side of this, like this, and the belt is, I'll put the plunger back on here for starters. The belt loops around this idler here for the take up and supply reels. Appears to be that there's a couple of screws missing, so I'm going to have to try and find some screws to hold this in place. The plunger goes in like that, and then this sits in place. Let's say it goes in like this. These wires go on the outside of this, if I'm not mistaken. This will go underneath like this and get these wires out of the way, I would think. Maybe not. definitely goes in like this. Like that. Yeah. Gotta find a couple screws to hold this thing together. Fortunately, these screws are pretty standard size on here, and I can rob a spare one from somewhere else that'll hold that in place. Now I just gotta find another one, maybe from the bottom. This one might be too long as well, but we'll see. Yeah, I think this one's going to be a little too big too. Maybe not. That one might do it. Just see if it will. Oh, I got it backwards. Have to get that twist out of there. I got a twist in here. It's gonna turn my pulleys backwards. I'm gonna get that twist out of there. There, that looks a little better. Let's see whether things spin. Power on. I do believe things are a-spinning. Let's see if this thing works. Okay, let's see if fast forward works. Well, I guess I can't do that with the door open. If we take this off, can we see better? Maybe not. Let's see. Fast forward, and the tape counter is turning. Rewind, play. Oh, VU meters are pegging. I think the record plate switches Might be just a tad dirty. Let's just put it into record mode back and forth a few times here. What this does is this will exercise the switches without cleaning them, without putting cleaner in and everything. I just want to see whether the... Good, now the meters don't peg. Let's see if it'll play something. Let's test it out. Okay. One channel worked. Left channel's working, but let's just try a different tape. I only hear something playing on the left channel. We'll check that out and see why the left channel only is working. But hey, it's doing more than it was when I received it. Put it in play. If I put it in play without a tape in it, and I just probe around where the head would connect, I hear something on the left channel. I don't hear anything on the right channel. We have a problem. The problem with the right preamp. Let's pull the bottom off of it. Access the switches. So here's our record play switch. Ours has only got one on it. It's got two switches, but we'll spray some cleaner into these switches. Okay, let's try it again. See whether I get sound on both left and right now. Ah, I got sound on both the left and right. Just had to clean the switches. Neat, huh? So this is kind of a neat old deck. The guy that gave me this is the same guy that gave me that FM 8-track thing to take a look at. He's coming over. He said, "Oh, I'm going to throw this thing out." I said, "Hey, give it to me. I'll fix it." Because he told me it had parts all falling apart inside it. It is not working. He's actually coming over to pick that up now, so I'll just leave this apart so he can see it when he gets here. A couple more things I need to do to this before I can test it is the input switch. I'm in record pause mode. That input switch is bad, so we're going to clean that. If I can get into it here. Okay, I'm going to make a recording. We'll do that song again. So we'll just put this in record. and we'll make a recording, and then I'll play this back, and we'll see how the sound off this unit is. Here we go. Let's play it back and see if it works. I would say it does work. And I'm going to leave it at that because, I say, this one was brought to me in pieces and wasn't even needed to be repaired, but we wanted to see if we could get it going. It's going. I'll put this thing up and sell it for 20 bucks to somebody who's looking for a cheap tape deck. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one real soon.